Are we on? Are we good?
Is this thing on? Hello. Welcome to Spirits and Supernatural. I'm Dawn.
And I'm Jenny.
And we have not had a single thing to drink yet.
Nope. Can you ever really tell when it comes to me if I've been drinking or not?
Who knows? Who knows? Right.
No. So today, Dawn, who are we featuring? Because you have the connection.
We are featuring Granddaddy Winchester.
Yes.
Henry.
Henry. Yes.
Henry
And
Winchester.
He was played by Gil McKinney, who's really cute too.
Yeah.
I don't understand how Supernatural found all these cute boys and men to play these roles.
Hollywood has a thing about that.
The CW
The
definitely
CW.
had a thing about
Absolutely.
beautiful people.
So it occurs to me because we were saying in the
John's episode.
that in order to be a Winchester, your name has to start with J, and you have to be over 6 foot tall. But Gil definitely doesn't start with a J.
Not in America. But maybe.
Not on planet Earth.
Maybe.
As far as
somewhere else.
American or anglicized spelling
It
goes.
could be spelled with a... I mean, if you can pronounce GIF as GIF, I think that we could go ahead and say Gil was spelled with a J if we want to.
No.
Well, I can say it. Doesn't make it true. Anyhow, what are we making today?
Henry Winchester, the episode that was introduced in is set in like 1958. So we decided we're going to go with a 50s drink.
I think that's very wise of us.
And we're going to go with a little spy drink here because Henry was kind of a spy. The Men
That's
of Letters,
true.
kind of secret society situation.
They were.
This drink was actually, I believe, invented by James Bond.
I think Ian Fleming, I guess we would say, was the inventor.
But like in the Bond series. This is the Vesper, is what it's called.
You would think it would be a martini, but is it a type of martini?
It's very similar. It contains gin, which martinis tend to do. It also contains vodka, and it contains a very fancy fermented wine called, I'm going to butcher it with the American accent.
You get it. You go, girl.
We call it, I've been calling it Lillet Blanc.
That's because we're good Midwesterners. That's how we say
we're good
it.
Midwesterners. But if you're French, pardon my 4 years of high school French, Lillet Blanc.
There we go.
Lillet. Lillet.
Lillet Blanc.
Yeah, I'm sure
Lillet Blanc.
Lillet Blanc.
Okay. I took 2 years of high school French. It was the worst 2 years ever. I was horrible. So to make this particular drink, as Dawn gets ready to pour, we're going to have 3 ounces of gin, 1 ounce of vodka, a half an ounce of the Lillet Blanc, and then an orange twist. Or you could do a lemon twist if you don't happen to have an orange twist handy. If you want to make a Vesper mocktail, we recommend that you use floral water or a juniper syrup, sparkling grape juice, and then an orange or lemon twist.
I'm going to go real Midwestern on you. I'm opening the vodka.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the plastic seal.
Plastic seal bought through a drive-through. If you don't live in Ohio and you live in somewhere in the United States, and you may not know this, but we actually have drive-through alcohol stores in Ohio.
Okay. I mentioned this before, but one thing that Henry Winchester and I have in common is that we're both from Normal, Illinois.
Right.
So when I first came to Ohio and I was introduced to drive-thrus, I was like, what in the alcoholism is that?
I've always lived in Ohio. I mean, I just thought it was normal. I had a friend in California.
It's not in normal,
It's not in normal. I thought it was common. And I had a friend in California, like, basically what you said. Are you kidding me? You just have drive-through liquor stores? I'm like,
okay, so you can also buy, like, soda, and sometimes they have, like, snacks and stuff. So it's kind of like the idea of, like, a drive-through gas station or convenience store.
Well, all of our gas stations have drive-through. Not all of them, but a lot of them have drive-through where you can pick up a 6-pack or bag of chips. Yeah. So that's just how we roll in Ohio, I guess.
Oh, this is really going to fill up a martini glass.
Ooh.
It's close.
It's getting right to the rim.
All right.
Oh, God. I spent hours making these sprigs of orange. Hours turning a lemon into orange. And then I just dropped it right in there. So I'm going to hand you yours and let you hang yours on the side. Not that y'all can see it, but I'll take a picture for our social media accounts. Let's start talking about Henry Winchester.
Okay. So,
thoughts?
Fun fact number 1, I like Henry a lot more than I ever liked John.
Oh, that's fair. I like Henry a whole lot more than I like Samuel, their other grandpa.
I was reading on the Supernatural wiki page, and one of the trivia facts was Henry Winchester is the only grandfather of Sam and Dean that wasn't an antagonist. And I thought, well, he had a 50-50 chance.
Right. That was an interesting way of putting that, I guess. He came in hot though as antagonistic, through their closet at that hotel.
Oh yeah, and he
remember.
Immediately starts fighting them.
Yeah. Well, he didn't know what was going on. They didn't know what was going on. And then he tried to steal Dean's car. True. Which was a pretty big deal.
Which is murder. Murder worthy.
Yeah. Kill him. I'd kill them all. Pretty sure that's how Dean responded when Sam asked him, what would you do if somebody tried to steal baby? Murder.
Except for in that one episode where the one kid who
that young girl. Yeah.
No. The one kid who was like Sam that had the ability to just ask people for stuff. And then if he touched them, they would give in. He's like, great car, man. Can I have it? And Dean's like, oh yeah, sure.
Yes. Yeah, that was a good one. So anyhow, plus, I have realized as I've listened back to these, I say anyhow a lot. So if you all would like to make a drinking game out of our podcast, I recommend putting anyhow on your bingo board because I say it a lot and you'll get nice and toasty while you're listening to our podcast.
You have no idea how many of the so anyhows I've edited out of this.
I'm trying to work on that.
That's okay.
Let's clink our glasses.
Very carefully. They're very full.
They are full. Clink.
The baby
and then
clink.
We're going to take a little sip. And I spilled it all over my shirt because it was so full.
It was so full. Okay, so the thing is, this has no mixers to it.
Nope.
This is vodka, gin, and this French aperitif wine.
Kind of like drinking gasoline to me.
James Bond.
Yeah.
And I wonder if Henry would have actually drank this. We thought, he probably liked
the men of letters might have.
Yeah.
And
man, what was going on in the 50s that they were like, we don't need mixers, just mix the alcohols?
I don't know. Was there a shortage on sugar? So they just drank the straight alcohol. And that is all this is. Mm-hmm. It needs more for me, personally.
More alcohol?
No. I'll probably drink it because we happen to be recording this on a Friday night. I don't work tomorrow. I can drink it. But personally, when we go to do our taste test, I'll give my swigs, what I'll give there. But back to Henry. So Henry, he charges into this hotel room. He comes through the portal or whatever that was open for him to come through. And the boys are like, he's like, where's John Winchester? And they're like,
excuse?
So they don't respond right away. And they eventually are like, he's dead. He's our dad. And he's like, you're John's boys? And he sees that it's what year was that?
2013, I think.
That's what I thought. 2013. He came from 1958. He had just, basically, he tucked John into bed, went to his men of letters meeting, and then meets his grandsons, who are full-grown men. What a life. I mean, can you...
What a day.
What a day, yeah. What a 24-hour period for Henry Winchester.
Right.
But I did like Henry a whole lot. He sacrificed himself at the end, for the boys. He does come back in one other episode. It was like a flashback episode. And we learn about Abaddon, who was...
We learn more.
I can't remember...
A Knight of Hell.
What was her... No, but what was her name? Josie. As one of the men of letters. She was one of the women of letters, Josie. And when this episode first kind of started, it was like she was kind of like... You felt like she was kind of hitting on Henry, right? She's kind of like coming on to him, and you thought maybe she has a little thingy for him.
In both of the episodes that both of them are in, yes.
Yeah.
There was a lot of me going, does he have a thing with her?
Right.
I was worried about...
Yeah, I wasn't going to be a fan of that if that had happened.
Yeah.
I think she had a thing for him. I don't think he reciprocated.
I agree. Yeah.
I like Henry a lot. I like Gil McKinney. Mm-hmm. I thought he's a lot of fun. I thought he did the job that he needed to do as Henry. I thought he acted it well. I thought that he actually accepted the fact that he traveled through time and met his grandsons really well.
Well, that was the intent. Like, the whole thing with the blood sigil was he was trying to get away from Abaddon. And so the sigil was supposed to take him to wherever John was.
Right.
But because it couldn't take him to John.
Took him to the next
It took
blood
him to the next
relative.
closest thing. Yeah. And I don't know if it was intended to be a time travel spell.
I don't know.
I think it maybe was. But he also, like, we learned, like, he had this intention. John was going to be a legacy. Like, all of his descendants were going to be legacies in the Men of Letters. So I think that when he did that sigil to go into the future, to go to his son, he thought that he was going to go to his son, who was a man of letters.
Mm-hmm. So you don't think that he thought he was just going to go to his son at his home that night?
Why would he bring that demon back to his house?
Well, I think that maybe he thought if he was going to where his son was at home, maybe he felt he had something there that he could have combated the demon. I don't know.
No,
I guess
I think
that he knew he was going to go in the future.
Yeah.
Okay. He just didn't know how far and who he was going to encounter.
Yeah, absolutely not.
His grandsons and not his son.
Right.
And Dean and Sam, they actually were pretty cool about a guy just showing up through their closet also. Really.
Weird stuff happens to them.
Yeah.
A guy flying out of the closet in their hotel room is not, like...
totally abnormal, I guess.
Yeah.
Just another Tuesday probably not a Tuesday because he only came the once, but maybe like a Thursday or something. But what we discovered with Henry was that this is what opened up the boys to find the bunker.
Yes.
So that's what was important about his role as far as getting Henry into the show, getting the boys his permanent home so they could learn about the bunker. Because when we're watching this, we're like, Men of Letters, this is brand new information.
What is this? What does that mean? Yeah.
And when we first started watching it, we won't talk about Mary a whole lot because we've already covered her. But I know that when I was first watching it, I assumed that John had grown up as a hunter. When you first watch the show, don't you think John was always into hunting life until you find out when Sam or Dean goes back in time and marries the hunter?
That would be the assumption, like that this is something that John's known like his whole life, sure.
But he didn't become a hunter.
And then we learned that it wasn't, and that it's actually from Mary's side, which surprises us all.
Yeah.
Because you would think that she would have expected the demon to show up at some point.
Yeah. Why was she so surprised by that? I don't know.
I think she made some choices.
She did. She made some foolish choices. But we find out that John is this legacy of Men of Letters. And so we get open up this whole new world of Men of Letters.
We also get introduced to this whole idea that, like, the Men of Letters look down on the hunters, or they look at hunters as, like, a tool. That they're above.
In more ways than one.
Yeah, in more ways. But they consider themselves, like, better than the hunters.
Definitely.
Even though Henry has some hunter skills. Like, he can still do, like, some sleight of hand. He can still,
like, don't you think that's that was a Men of Letters skill? Don't you think?
Apparently.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think it was a hunter skill. I just think that they both happen to have certain skill sets. You know, we see the boys lifting keys or a wallet or whatever from people, sleight of hand, and they're able to do that. And when they're handcuffing him and he just gets out of it immediately.
Like a freaking magician.
Yeah. That was like, whoa.
You're just like, excuse me? Yeah.
Yeah. So there's not a whole lot to unpack when it comes to Henry because he just did have the 2 episodes.
Yeah. I think there's a lot because we get opened up to the world of Men of Letters.
Right.
But we also get some emotional understanding for John. Because he thought that his dad just left.
Right.
And so we get to see that he didn't. And in fact, that he was, trying to save people and help people. And John never got to know that about Henry.
No, and then in our first episode when we talked about giving the boys middle names, I started thinking maybe he probably wouldn't have given Henry the middle name to Sam if
maybe,
he was
if he didn't know.
bittered toward his father. So, but I still like Samuel Henry, so I'm sticking with it.
I'm with it too.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I liked Henry. I like Gil McKinney. I like the fact that the boys ended up getting a permanent home in the bunker. Although I did miss the setup for the hotels.
We still got that, but not as much, for sure.
Jerry Wanick, the set designer, was just amazing, and how they could build those and tear those down so rapidly, because from my understanding, each episode was like an 8-day shoot. 8 days. They had 8 days to shoot the 45-minute episode, which sounds like a lot of time, 8 days to just shoot 45 minutes. But not being in the business, we don't really get the concept of what that time frame is like, because they talk about, like, I listened to Rich and Rob's podcast, SPN Then and Now. Definitely listen to that. It's the best rewatch podcast out there. But they talk about the Fraturdays, how their Fridays would bleed into Saturday all the time.
Sure.
And because in the beginning, the very first seasons, they would have, I can't remember, it was like insane 18-hour days or something like that, until eventually it had to be shortened for legality. But yeah, they had like insane days. And then Vancouver being rainy all the time, which kind of fit in the aesthetic of Supernatural.
Especially the first seasons.
Yeah.
Like, well, I guess it had to. Like, it became the aesthetic because that's just the weather they had.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So as your first time watching the show and Henry shows up, were you like surprised that they brought him in, and what he was and what John was as a result?
So I don't even know. What season was it he comes in? Like season 8? I think
it's towards the end of 8.
Yeah.
When they find the bunker.
I would say, yeah, like it's a shock because like we don't know much about their family outside of Mary, John, and then we've seen like Mary's parents a bit, but we don't see much of John's side. So like it makes sense that they would pull in something from the Winchester side. When they're like, oh, this is his dad. I mean, personally, when they were like Normal, Illinois, I was like, where? The street that like the Men of Letters shop is, or not shop, but like HQ,
headquarters,
it's supposed to be. I literally Googled it because I was like, I don't think that street exists, and it didn't, because I was like, I'm gonna go there, obviously. Yeah, I think it made sense to bring in a Winchester and something like that. And even though Kripke wasn't writing for the show after season 5, like this is 8 and whatever,
he actually did write at least one episode in season 6. He wrote the finale of season 6. Okay. So, but after that,
like,
he didn't write anymore.
He's not like on the main team for this anymore. So I think that it really still follows his vein of like using lore and myth and stuff from the real world, if you will. Yeah. It still definitely follows that. And I actually love that they brought in the whole concept of the Men of Letters and like this bunker because, yeah, like you said, it gives them a home. Yeah. And you get emotionally attached to the boys. You're so happy that they have a place that they can settle down. Right. That they know they can go back to and they can be safe in. And it's got all this information and all this like cool stuff in it that they only know like 2% of genuinely. And it opens up to like some really cool episodes that happen just inside the bunker. Right. And it has so many rooms. The bunker just like, I feel like we only see a fraction of it because like there's a garage, there's a place where they park baby, but it's got a bunch of other cars. It's got motorcycles. Yeah. It's got all kinds of stuff. You have to imagine like, when did the boys have their own room? Dean said he'd never had his own room, and that's why he was so thrilled about the bunker. And he even decorated it, and he's like, I have a mattress. It's a memory foam. It remembers me. And he was just so happy. He was so happy. And Sam, this was still coming off of season 8, where Dean had been in purgatory. Sam had hit a dog and had that little Amelia thing. And so that you have some interesting feelings about. I'm not a fan of her. That he
he's like, this is where our job is. This is not home. And that always kind of made me sad that to Dean, home was basically where Sam was. Mm-hmm. And that he had his own room and that the bunker did become his home. Mm-hmm. And I think that Sam eventually started embracing that.
Yeah.
And he did call baby home. Mm-hmm. And I loved that in that episode.
Absolutely, yes.
But it was hard for me when Dean's like so excited about it and Sam was just like peeing in his Cheerios, basically.
Ew.
Just, yeah.
That's an awful metaphor.
Well, it's true. But Henry, I love that when they do the second episode, Henry is in with Josie, that he is dressed up like a priest and Josie's dressed up like a nun. And the boys have dressed up like priests in previous episodes.
So like some of those hunter skills that the men of letters use, but like they use it differently. So they're a little bit better than.
Yeah.
If we're talking men of letters, the British men of letters jump over there.
Like, do we have to?
Well, only in that, I guess, let's say Hollywood plays off of the stereotype that Brits think they're like so much better than everybody too. So it's like it's on brand for the men of letters to be very like snobby and stuck up, but they're still they call it field work. The men of letters do, like when they're out doing like the boots on the ground hunting that we think of, they're doing field work. Well, I'm air quoting that.
And British men of letters had the cool gadgets, you know, I don't know, the egg and the different things that they would set off and it would just kill all the vampires that were in the room and they didn't have to like chop all their heads off. Well,
that was also British men of letters, like in modern times, as opposed to the only thing we get to see for American men of letters is from like the 1950s.
Right. But the whole bunker is just, there's an episode where I just watched it recently where Charlie is like, I'm in the neighborhood. And they're like, how does she know? And they're like, well, she had narrowed it down to a 20-mile radius. The bunker had this force field, for lack of a better term, that made it impossible, that it couldn't even be found.
So I feel like because the men of letters are who they are, not only do they have their state-of-the-art technology for their time to shield themselves, they've also got warding.
Yeah.
Like so much warding, so much spells, so much magic that is going to keep them. I mean, like Cuthbert Sinclair, who makes his house literally invisible.
Yeah.
Not only do they have the technology, they have the magic and the know-how.
Right. And they must have had some sort of super duper anti-dust thing because that bunker was pretty clean for being empty for 50 years.
This is true. It was some kind of state-of-the-art filtration system. Well, I mean, judging from what we see from the outside, it's underground.
Right. The bulk of it's underground.
Yeah.
It looks like it's above ground because it just looks like a factory, basically. When you look from the outside, it just looks like some sort of factory or asylum, possibly.
But it's definitely like underground.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The whole thing is. Because there's another episode where they tried to kill them by cutting off their air supply.
Yeah. Yep.
And we'll talk about that when we get to Catch at some point.
At some point.
Yeah.
Down the line.
Yes.
For sure.
But overall, I really did like Henry. I liked his 2 episodes he was in. I like Gil McKinney. You know, he's done several of the conventions throughout the years. That's what always impresses me about Supernatural. The fandom. The guy's in 2 episodes.
And the fandom is like, it's Grandpa Winchester.
Right. And they love him.
When Cuthbert was like excommunicated from the men of letters, Henry apparently still came and visited him sometimes.
Okay.
I feel like there's always a bit of like a rebel gene in the Winchester blood.
Oh, well, I think that's pretty obvious.
Right. So what do we think? Which of the boys is more like Henry for what we get to see of Henry?
I agree that it's Sam. And the reason is because I think it's more of the lore. And I think when they found the men of letters and Dean was like, become a man of letters, he says that to Sam. And he says, you know, I guess Henry was a nerd and Sam is a nerd in that capacity.
Sure.
I know that Dean is in a different way. I think so. I think Sam is more like Henry.
So is Sam more a Winchester and Dean is more a Campbell? Even though Sam ends up working with the other Campbells.
Yeah, but that wasn't really Sam.
Okay.
So I don't think Sam would have worked with him, and when he was in his right mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So Dean is more of a Campbell.
I think so.
And Sam is more a Winchester.
And even when Mary comes back, she has a greater connection with Dean than she does with Sam.
It's true.
And I realize it doesn't even really matter that Dean was 4 and Sam was 6 months. There wasn't enough time had passed that bond wasn't that substantial of the 4 years compared to the 6 months. I just think that even though Mary never wanted her boys to be in the life, she wanted out. We talked about this before. She still was in it.
She kept going back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And although that is similar to Sam, who wanted to be out but still stayed in it and kept coming. There were times when he could have left and he kept coming back too. I still think I think Dean is more like John, but I think Sam is more like Henry. What do you think?
Yeah, I guess I could get that. It's dissecting them a little bit more. I think in the traits where John and Mary are very much like, let's just go for it, let's just get shit done. That is very Dean. Yeah. Absolutely. But yeah, in the places where it's, let's think of this through and maybe not just jump in guns blazing, that's definitely more like Henry, more like
and Sam.
Yeah. And I guess, Sam being more like Henry in that he learns the spells and he learns the incantations and the exorcisms and all of that stuff.
He was almost a witch in training type of thing with Rowena especially.
Which I absolutely love that bond.
Yeah, I can't wait till we get to our Rowena episode, but it's a long time away from here. But that'll be fun. Yeah, I guess that's how I would say. Sam is more like a Winchester with Henry. Dean is more like a Campbell with his mom, but I do think Dean is a good mixture of. I think
like
Sam's
a Campbell.
A good mixture with his mom and Henry.
I think Dean is like a Campbell because he's very much like his mom, but he admires his dad so much that he acts like his dad in ways too. Yeah. Partly because he's trained himself to, because he admires his dad.
Yeah. He's got major daddy issues.
Yes. This is tattooed on his forehead.
Yeah.
Daddy issues.
But I liked Henry. I'm glad that we got him. I'm glad that the boys got a home because of him.
I'm so glad that we got Henry and we got more of that backstory.
Yes.
I mean, it's all about the lore and trying to understand the monsters. Well, this is some of the lore and understanding the Winchesters, is getting to meet Henry and all.
Yeah. Some of my favorite episodes came in the last 10 seasons. Overall, the first 5 seasons were my favorite. The last 10 had several of my favorite standalones.
The start is my favorite, but then the rest of it I love, is what you just said.
Basically, seasons 1 through 15 are my favorite.
Those. Yes.
No, overall, seasons 1 through 5. If they had ended it at 5, I would have been content with that. I would have been sad. But I wouldn't have known any better, because there wouldn't have been a 6 through 15.
And maybe we wouldn't have been sitting here.
Yeah, that's right.
If it only went to season 5.
Yeah. But 6 through 15 has probably has more of my favorite standalones than 1 through 5 had. Does that make sense?
I think it does.
Okay. 1 through 5 overall together are my favorite. 6 through 15 had my favorite standalones. Yes, I liked all of them, I guess.
I like the one episode where the boys fought the monsters.
Yo, that's
and
a
then
good
saved
one.
The world.
Yeah, that was probably my favorite episode.
I just remembered, because I said that save the world part in the episode as time goes by. Henry tries to go back in time to go back to John when he was little, and Dean stops him.
Yeah.
Like,
he knows
what
it's
a
bad
hard
idea.
Decision, though. What a hard decision, though. And like, Henry comes around to it and he realizes. Yeah. But like,
but then Henry carving the demon catcher thing into the bullet,
the devil's trap.
Yeah, that'll work. The demon catcher thing. The Vesper's going to my mind.
Quick, Sam, paint that demon catcher thing.
devil's trap bullet. I thought that was super cool that he could carve that in there, and then that became a new thing.
And that happens where somebody brings up like there's one little like the whole like witch killing bullet like concept. Right. And then it's a thing for the rest of the show.
That's right.
For the other part that has your other favorite episodes.
Yes. My favorite standalones. Does that not make sense?
It does.
I mean,
I'm just still going to make fun of you for it.
If people in the world are listening to this podcast, I want you to comment and tell me if that makes sense.
If somebody said that demon catcher thing to you and you had knowledge of the television show Supernatural, what do you think of a demon's trap?
There you
or
go.
Devil's Trap.
Yeah. Oh, see? There you go. Snap.
Listen, there are 3 kinds of alcohol in this Vesper martini. And
I might have to order a pizza to soak that
I
up
ate a whole pizza before I came, okay? Before I got here.
Yeah. So overall, I think that we agree Henry was a good guy. We liked Henry. Mm-hmm. When he found out that his son thought he abandoned him, that was horrible.
Heartbreaking.
Yeah.
He was like, why would my child ever think that?
Yeah.
No.
Well,
yeah. I mean,
what else is he going to think?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was so sad.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're glad for Henry Winchester. We're glad for Gil McKinney. Hopefully he'll come to a convention that we'll be able to attend.
Dear Gil, you are so invited.
Yes.
To this podcast right now.
Here you go, Gil. Here's your chance.
Spelled with a J.
For all of our 30 listeners and my mom, you could come and be a part of us.
That'd be great. Is it time to
do our swig rating?
Yes.
I think so.
For our certified swig system. Our first rating is on
taste.
The taste of this thing. So what do you think about the taste?
I'm not going to give it a full swig. It's too strong for me because it's just pure alcohol. Gin. I taste the gin really strong in it.
Mm-hmm. It's mostly gin.
That's why 3 ounces. That makes sense.
It is mostly gin.
I need a mixer in there. I need something sweet, personally. Mm-hmm. So I'm only give it a quarter swig, personally, for taste.
A quarter swig.
A quarter swig. 0.25.
So I cheated and I had some of the Lillet Blanc, the French aperitif wine, in a different drink before. And I really...
Today?
Not
if
today.
We're coming?
No. Like 2 days ago. And I liked it in that. So like I got a sense of the taste of that. So I don't know. I think the taste of this also could have been different if we hadn't used a botanical gin and just used a regular gin. So there's more like herbs and juniper and stuff happening than usual. I have to agree. I'm not a fan. We do have some ice. And we actually didn't make this exactly the way the recipe calls for, because it does call for shaking over ice, which is going to water it down and like chill it and do some different things to it.
I don't think it would have changed the taste.
Not so
though.
much. For me, I'm not a big fan of drinks that burn the whole way down.
Yeah.
And because this is alcohol, it burns the whole way down. And then it stays burning a little bit after you took a sip.
Yep.
So I am, even with like the twist of the orange, the orange peel in there, which is supposed to like impart some of the orange oils as you go.
Yeah.
I mean, I can kind of taste it, but
I was thinking about squeezing some orange in it. I thought that might help.
The whole thing do be burning.
Doobie. Not that kind of doobie. Just does be.
This alcoholic beverage burns my esophagus as I drink it. I think I'm with you on the quarter swig on that.
Yeah.
It is too much for me. I want some juice or some soda or something going
Sprite
on there.
probably would have helped too.
Yeah.
We are not Vesper girls.
We are not.
So we're probably not Bond girls.
Nope.
Just so. Nope.
No. I don't think I'm a martini person, is really, because the Demon's Blood martini that we had also, well, that had cranberry juice.
I liked it. Good. I thought that was pretty good.
But I'm not sure.
That was before we were doing our swig rating.
As much as I like gin, I'm not for the taste of this one.
Nope.
All right, so the next thing we're ranking on is the ease of making.
Oh.
Which this was super easy.
Yeah.
It's 3 and 1.5 an ounce.
Other than the hour I spent making the lemon into an orange. Yep.
How easy was that for you?
That was real easy.
Do you need a Men of Letters spell?
I do. I need something. I think it can give it a full swig. It was easy to make.
It was very easy to make. Can't complain at all on that bit.
Well, we could, but
Yeah.
we'd be lying.
So how well do we think that this Vesper Martini ties into the character of Henry Winchester?
That's hard. That's really hard. Just it came from the 50s. I think because it did come from a spy novel, and like you said, Henry, the men of letters were kind of spy-ish, spy adjacent, maybe.
I think that they probably thought of themselves as like better than James Bond.
Would Henry have drank? I think this is a pretty high-end,
Common.
kind of a fancy type of drink. He probably did drink it.
I mean, people drank martinis at home in the 50s, didn't they?
Oh, yeah, all the time.
I have no idea.
So I'm going to give it a full swig because I think that Henry would have drank this Vesper.
I think Henry would have wanted to drink this Vesper.
Yeah.
And it would have been a little much for him, but he'd have played it cool.
You think so?
He'd have played it cool like Dino.
But Josie, she'd have chugged it. Especially his Abaddon. And then
No, I think as Abaddon pretending to be Josie, she would have been more demure.
You think?
I do. Anyways, are we giving this a 1?
I think so. I'm going to give it a full swig as far as
right.
Henry.
All right. And then the mocktail ability of this. So your suggestion for mocktailing this was
Floral water or juniper syrup. Mm-hmm. And if you do like syrup, I'm assuming that you're going to have to do like a sparkling water or something. It depends on how thick the syrup is. I mean, if it's just syrup.
The thinness of any liquor or alcohol would like thin out the syrup. You can mix it.
Yeah, but you
in.
can't do alcohol if it's a mocktail.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Right.
And then sparkling grape
Whoops.
juice.
Yeah.
I think this mocktail would work fine.
Yeah, I think
I had
a
a
sparkling
full
grape juice
swig.
and a floral water would definitely make a very similar taste
Yeah.
and everything to this, minus the freaking burn.
I feel like the sparkling grape juice would give it also a little bit more sweetness, which, like I said, is what I kind of need when I drink a cocktail.
I would agree with that. So out of 4 for each, we gave it 3 1/4 each. So we're looking at a 6.5 out of 8.
That's not
full
bad.
swigs. That's pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah, but if you consider the taste was the lowest.
It was.
Yeah.
Like everything else, we were like 1. And then on the taste, we were like, it burns.
Yeah.
What's that meme? Why is it spicy? It was.
like,
yeah.
Yeah, like drinking rubbing alcohol, kind of. Not a fan.
Kind of.
To me, I'm like,
Don't drink rubbing alcohol.
don't compare it. Don't try to
Don't
do
try
the,
it
don't
for
do the
comparison.
taste. Yeah.
Yeah, I think if I wanted, I would probably mix this with some
Sprite
or club soda. Yeah.
Or even like squeezing an orange juice in it, I think would help me.
I'm always a fan of putting a little lemon juice or lime juice, a little acid into like the gin mix. So I am definitely gonna say there's room for improvement on the taste.
But we did it. We tried it.
We did.
And we can mark it off and know that if anybody offers a Vesper out in the wild, we will have to say no.
Well,
Thank you.
We are educated now.
Now we know what a Vesper is.
We're like the men of letters.
Women of letters. Thank you very much. And I will pass on a Vesper. So far, most of our cocktails I've enjoyed.
Yeah, I would
This
agree.
one is just a little much. But if you like a little much and a bunch of alcohol, then this would probably be the drink
You
for
want
you.
to feel like James Bond.
Yes. If you want to feel like 00 negative. 'Cause that's how I feel right now. Go for it.
It changed your blood type.
It did. Yeah, 00 negative. Okay, so we are happy Henry joined. We're not real happy with our drink choice. But next time, we are going to be doing a Campbell family drink.
Ah, we're switching from the Winchesters to the Campbells.
We've run out of Winchesters.
I guess so.
Yeah, so we have to do Campbell's. And it's going to be like a hot toddy, but it's going to be a Campbell's family broth tail.
Buckle up.
Yep.
Can't wait.
All right. Thanks for joining us.
All right, bye.